moments that will blow your mind on paternity court.
He was dancing, not entertaining, just dance. I was there, and I actually did my mating call. Yes.
How did that make you feel, Jerome?
Running over there.
Exactly.
Your jerk factor is on 10, Mr. Megan. I'm not gonna lie. You have gotten on my last nerve today. Came in here with no evidence, could barely put a sentence together because you're smiling and laughing, because your nerves are shot, because you're lying.
How would you feel if a random guy in the store came up to you and claimed to be your father? Shocked? Overwhelmed? That's about right. Well, Miss Kiesia went through the same emotional dilemma as the defendant, who dropped an "I am your father" bomb on her. Let's listen to how it went down.
I was walking out of a clothing store. She was going in to the clothing store. And I just seen myself in her. And I stepped to her and I said, you look like you could be my baby.
The young plaintiff had a daddy figure and then encounters a man randomly claiming that she could be his daughter. Now that's confusion to another level. Let's see what Miss Kiesia's big mama had to say about this.
So my daughter brought it to me, and I laughed it off, and I didn't say anything. But after a while, it clicked to me. Oh my God, because if it's that noticeable, he have kids out here. What if she end up dating someone that could possibly be her brother? I need to contact him. And I told him that Kiesia could possibly be his child.
Okay, now isn't that one interesting dynamic? Well, Mama, you have a lot of explaining to do, but before we go there, let's find out what happens when Mr. Fleeton, aka the potential daddy, visits Miss Reynolds after all those years.
He didn't remember sleeping with me. And at that moment, I said, oh well, taking it to my grave at that point.
So you basically were telling him to protect your daughter. And once he said, I don't even remember you, you just said, you know what, I'm taking it to my grave. My ex has bought into the fact that he's her biological father.
Yes.
Just leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
This is done.
However, the irony was that Mr. Fleeton had no memory of getting cozy with Miss Reynolds. Still, the resemblance with her daughter was uncanny. How about the plaintiff giving him a little memory jog? That might help. Now this story might blow your mind.
Met him at a sex toy party. He was the stripper. And, we didn't have any action at that time, but maybe a week later, we were at a popular club in our city. He was there and he was dancing, not entertaining. I was there, and I actually did my mating call.
Come on, now that's a hilarious one, isn't it? Feels like, ladies, you might discover that high note to attract men. That Axe commercial? I suppose it just got slaughtered. Oh man, now that's the power of a mating call.
So Mr. Fleeton, do you remember sleeping with Ms. Reynolds?
No, ma'am, I have no recollection of ever having a sexual encounter with Miss Meg.
But I'm unforgettable.
Well, do you remember her mating call? Hit that one more time.
No, ma'am.
Well, it doesn't matter now. You might have missed the early years, Mr. Fleeton, but we commend you for wanting to be there for the rest of her life, if you are indeed proven to be the biological father. So, without any further delay, how about we just move forward with the DNA results?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Fleeton, you are not the father. I'm very sorry, Kiesia.
Yeah, baby.
Of course.
Two women fooled by the same man into naming their sons as his junior? Yeesh, not a happy place to be in. But Mr. Macon thought that he could get away with such an endeavor. However, like any man full of himself, he is denying paternity. Let's see how Judge Lake handles such a bungled situation.
So were you there the day she knocked on the
Your
door?
Honor, yes, I was there. I didn't answer because I have kids, my kids in the house, and the way she was doing, boom, boom, boom,
I sure
boom, boom,
was.
boom, kicking the door.
Sure was. I heard you.
Why
Don't
would I
answer
answer?
the
But why
door.
would I answer the door like that?
I ain't gonna do nothing to no kids. I'm coming for you.
This to me,
I'm coming
I don't
for
know
you.
her. I don't know
All right,
her.
let's get some order. Let's get some order.
All right, now that session started right from the eruption point. Well, in my experience, you just can't hide anyone from your girlfriend when you've been in a relationship that long, Mr. Macon. Anyway, as soon as Miss Glover found out about Miss Puckett, she goes to visit her.
She didn't know about me. Let me tell you, I was at work. I worked at a gas station, minding my own business. She sent some of her little friends up in there. I guess she heard my name, but didn't know exactly who I was. I go home, I talk to him. I'm like, who is this precious girl that these folks came up to my job asking me about? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, okay, you don't know? Let me find out.
Mr. Macon, my dude, you just got caught red-handed cheating on your wife. This situation was bound to arise when playing with such fire. I find you lucky still standing here with your guilty smirk. Maybe you have some solid evidence to deny the paternity of the baby. No? Well, let's hear that part then.
She got 5 kids by 5 different baby daddies.
And you could be the 6th.
No, I ain't. If we ain't have sex till like 3 months after, I wouldn't even have sex.
But you did have sex
Me
with her.
and Miss Glover, we wasn't together at the time.
Did you use protection?
Yes,
You did.
but it was.
Okay, but there was a malfunction.
Right.
What in the world? Is that the excuse you brought up? I thought you were talking about some solid evidence here. You better put that logic back inside your coat, because your I have doubt trick isn't gonna hold up for long.
It's not my child. No, she was sleeping around with a whole lot of people. I know it for.
Do you have any proof of that? Did you bring the court anything? Did you hear anything? Did you talk to someone? Did you see her? Did you
Yeah, my
catch
own
her?
friends, they used to spend the night over there. Like, it wasn't nothing.
Your friends used to spend
Yeah.
the night over her house like
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Were you convinced by that? Because I wasn't. It feels like this was one of your failed attempts to make the baby mama look obsessed over you. And are we buying that just when we've started to grow annoyed by the behavior of Mr. Macon? Well, Miss Puckett pulls out her secret weapon.
When I was pregnant, he was rubbing on my belly like he was happy and he was concerned about it.
Mr. Macon, are those your hands and your jacket?
Yeah.
So what do you have to counter this evidence that Miss Puckett is presenting?
It's not my child. No.
Denying the child and rubbing hands on the baby's belly? Yeah, right, Mr. Macon. What evidence do you have to counter that? It feels like you just can't seem to prove anything here. Now, you might have even irked Judge Lake.
Your jerk factor is on 10, Mr. Macon. I'm not gonna lie. You have gotten on my last nerve today. Came in here with no evidence, could barely put a sentence together because you're smiling and laughing, because your nerves are shot, because you're lying. So you got 2 little boys now.
So, without wasting our precious time on you, Mr. Macon, how about we move towards the DNA results? This might bring closure to your mistress and girlfriend, and above all else, bring closure to your life choices. So, here's the truth.
Mr. Macon Sr., you are his father.
You know what? You sent her that text message talking about some special baby that y'all can go have sex on into the sunlight time, baby. I'll holler.
Check out our main man with the braids, rocking the 8 Mile rapper vibes. He rolled up to the paternity court swearing that his 2-decade-long marriage was all fraud. Mr. Jackson revealed that his wife, Miss Jackson, shocked him with the bombshell just a year into the gig, suggesting that he might not be the baby daddy.
Is that you feel like she did this all, it was all a fraud.
Right, because
she manipulated and defrauded you.
Right, because up until
No,
actually
Your Honor,
now,
he
I
has
never
to
knew
get
that it was
married.
somebody else that could have been the father. I just had doubts in the dates and time.
Let's talk about this doubt.
All right, according to the plaintiff, the defendant was fully aware of this soft nature, so she took advantage and the baby onto him, knowing that he would be there regardless of whatever. But if that's true, Mr. Jackson, you've been in this kid's life for like 20 years.
I've been tricked, Your Honor. She knew my past, and she knew that once she told me that she was pregnant, that I wanted a father in my son's life, like I didn't have a father in my life. We got married in December of '95, a few months after she got pregnant, and come up a year into the marriage, and I find out that he may not be my child, Your Honor.
Was that too much to comprehend? The only good thing was that even after finding out, you stayed and stepped up to the plate for so many years. You better explain your doubts, sir, before we go second guessing.
August of 1995, it'd be the 11th, 12th, and 13th.
That's correct. Okay, from
That's
we got married.
sex with Jackson.
And my son is born on June 8th, 1996.
Why are you doubtful about these
Because unless he's not my son, or you're looking at the only woman that's been pregnant 10 and a half months.
Yo, it was mad chatter about when the deed went down. And surprise, surprise, the little munchkin popped out a whole month early. Right around the time Mr. Jackson III was throwing wedding bells. Now ain't that a head scratcher? Time to hit up the baby mama and get the 411 straight from the source. Do you feel me?
He got me drunk at the house and trying to get the truth out of me.
Yes, it's
I
And
was
so
drunk.
did
I didn't know
he
whether
get the
to-
truth out of you?
Yes.
Okay.
You said he got you drunk
Yes,
and
Your
tried
Honor.
to get the truth out of
Yes,
you, and
Your
you
Honor.
told him that James Jackson IV was not his child.
He got me confused, Your Honor, because I was drunk.
Turns out that mommy here had a slip of the tongue only while she was intoxicated. Isn't that the oldest trick in the book? Well, Mr. Jackson, we all feel for you, man. But hats off to your effort to get the truth shining high in the sky. Oh boy.
He tells me in the hotel I wasn't the father.
This is how it happened, Mr. Jackson, and I'm telling you the whole thing. Mr. Jackson begged me to come get him out of jail court, to go and get him out so that he could go in hotels with me. So that's when we would drink. It's not like I was an alcoholic.
What the? She just confessed that it's not his child? OMG. Probably that's the first one on paternity court. So, how about now we just focus on the DNA results? Because, I'm tired of the hinting. Just give me a break here.
Mr. Jackson, you are his father. Great news.
Awesome news.
That's wonderful. You happy, Mr. Jackson?
Oh, yes.
So, Miss Davis rolls into court claiming she got knocked up by Mr. Ham after just 2 months of knowing him. Classic move. Now she's all about that DNA test life, wanting to prove that Mr. Ham is the baby daddy of little Jarrell Ham Jr. Real smooth start, huh?
She flagged me down to stop me so we can switch numbers. When we switched numbers, we started talking on the phone within those same exact hours. So during that time, we agreed to meet up. When I pull up to the lake, after we agreed, that's where we agreed to go to the lake. When I pull up at the lake, she got a whole crowd of people surrounding her car. So as I get closer, Miss Davis then comes and approaches my car. We start having a conversation.
Ham wanted to share his side of the story. He's flexing his haircut swagger when he and Brandy, that is Miss Davis, decided to swap digits. They met up at the lake, but surprise, she's got a whole entourage. Drama alert! And yeah, turns out she's got more than one boyfriend. Classic Brandy.
Did you remember someone coming up to you and saying
No,
your boyfriend's
nobody came
mad?
up to me. Nobody came up to me because it wasn't my boyfriend.
Did you have a boyfriend at the
Yes,
time?
I did have a boyfriend at the time, but that wasn't him.
But that particular
It wasn't
person
him.
wasn't him.
She had 2 boyfriends.
I had
that was
one.
that was just the first boyfriend.
I had
That was just
one.
the first boyfriend.
You
though.
mad?
That was the
That
first
was my boyfriend.
Second boyfriend.
That was my
That's
first
the second
boyfriend.
The alleged father got some serious doubts about being Jarrell's pops. He's dropping truth bombs about Brandy being married and having more boyfriends than he can count. Things escalate when an imaginary boyfriend drama unfolds at the lake.
You do understand why Mr. Ham may have doubts?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay, good.
She already had boyfriends before she was even with me, and just like I say, when she get drunk, she's real sexual. When
Yeah, I
she get
am.
drunk, she
I'm
gets so
nasty.
drunk.
Yeah.
If she was drunk right now, she would be
I'm
passed
drunk.
out sleeping
What's
in
wrong
front
with
of
that?
the TV.
What's wrong with that?
Fast forward to the baby making session. They hit it off real quick, having unprotected fun on the same day they met. Mr. Ham's dropping truth bombs about Brandy being all over the place with her relationships. Girls have boyfriends who like accessories.
You've admitted that at this time you had a husband, you had a boyfriend,
2
and you
boyfriends.
also
Actually, my husband, we separated.
separated, but you had a
separated.
boyfriend, and you also were sleeping with Mr. Ham.
Yes, I was.
Were you
Unprotected.
sleeping with any of the other
No,
men?
My boyfriend.
All
my
four
boyfriend.
boyfriends.
Now we're getting into the juicy part. Brandy claims she's pregnant, tells Mr. Ham, and he's supposedly excited. But hold on. Mr. Ham starts doubting if the baby is his when Brandy, in a fit of rage, says it's not. Drama level 1000.
She told in front of my mother and auntie that this
No, I
is
didn't.
not my
I
child
never
when the
did that.
child was
That's a
4
lie.
weeks old.
I never
she
did
told
that.
this in front of my
I
mother and
never
auntie.
did that.
And the
Never.
second time,
I
we was
told that to
arguing
you
in front of her,
out of
at her
anger.
mother's
I told
house.
that to you out of anger. Out of anger, yes, Your Honor, I did say that twice.
And
out
then
of
the
anger.
second time,
we
in front
argued.
of
He
her
make me
own
mad. I'm
mother.
like, you don't
All right,
know
one at a
nothing.
time. I want to understand this.
Talk about a big blow to your mind moment in paternity court. I just don't understand why these people have to say something like this and put their men in a spiral of doubts. Boy, what's happening here?
When your baby was conceived, what was the month?
Around August 25th.
Now, Mr. Ham, you do agree that you were having sex during the last week of August with Ms. Davis. When were you intimate with anyone else? Were you
The last-
intimate with
Same
anyone
time.
My
else?
boyfriend, yes, my boyfriend.
And when was that?
I said at the
The
beginning
same
of
time.
July, around July 10th, around that time. That was the last time we had sex.
All right, so how about now we just focus on the DNA results? I mean, they were quite loud and clear in their testimonies. So, before they get started pulling on each other's heads, How about we just focus on who holds the envelope?
Mr. Ham, you are Jarrell's father.
We're stepping up, but at the same time, I can't be in this child's life if she's trying to control me with this child.
As a father, you have rights. You have to take care of this baby financially, but you also will have the legal right to see the child.